When I'm hired for a project, it's my project. It's just my nature that if it's my project, I'm going to be successful. So I do whatever it takes to make sure that I am successful for my owner. I start on time. I always tell people you don't make up a schedule at the end of the project. You're on time and you're on schedule because you started when you needed to. You understand the constraints and the durations of that specific project, and you've got everybody in place to perform their part when the time is right to meet the successful schedule. We're instrumental in saving our owners a lot of money on all of our projects. When you hire Paris Projects, a lot of times you're paying for what doesn't go wrong. So I really try to clarify and clean up my documents and address those specific issues, close those loopholes contractually with these contractors, again, avoiding change orders and time delays. And so in that way, I think I'm managing through the project and preventing things from happening via change orders that the owner may not know. Paris Projects, I do think, is a niche company, and many of the companies out there are pure construction managers. What they are is ex-contractors who are going to go try to help an owner out, and they don't have the wide, varied experience that I have from cradle to grave, from site work to vertical completion to the tenant relationships that evolve to get one open on time. So I think what we offer, again, is a very is a niche that is very hard to describe, but it's a turnkey approach that not many, I think, i.e. construction consultants can provide. Paris Projects was hired by the Nebraska Furniture folks to manage their 400-acre site work project. They really were very concerned about the Dallas-Fort Worth soil conditions. A lot of it has to do with expansive materials, and so that's what we brought to the table, is bringing qualified local consultants like the geotechnical engineer who we go out there and drill 150 holes. That's the basis of understanding the risk for a large site. We did have some of those soils, but very fortunate that we had a lot of great soils, which was a huge surprise. We segregate all the good dirts for reuse in critical areas like building pads and retaining walls. By understanding those good materials on site, understanding how to manage those materials, and how to put it into a set of bid documents where you got competitive cost and bids based on utilizing those on-site materials, we were able to save our client almost $3 million just with retaining wall backfill by using on-site material versus hauling all this material in for retaining walls. Consider Paris Projects the outsourcing solution because we're a one-stop shop. Site work represents probably 80% of the risk for any project. A really great service that I provide my owners is just from the very inception of a project with a very minor cost on their part relative to investigations is to do a global evaluation with publicly available information, existing GIS topos and wetland surveys and aerials to be able to evaluate a site very quickly for them to see if there's any major issues that would constitute cost concerns down the road. From inception to completion, again, there's not many people who understand everything that's involved in that entire process and can back into it and put realistic durations and schedules into that entire process and consistently perform on a timely basis. Down the road, when you're in the trenches and when you have issues to deal with and you have schedules and you have complications, you want to make sure you've got that guy in your foxhole that you can depend on and that you trust and that you understand his capabilities, and he's there because you want him there. By having my own company and doing so many projects across the country at a time, I probably have 10 times the amount of experience than a project manager that worked for a single company might have. So I really, quite honestly, haven't found anybody across the country that I would consider my competition per se. Again, Paris Projects is a turnkey consultant for the owner, basically the owner's representative.